Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at copying an existing Canvas course, the content from that course, into a new shell, probably a blank course that you're about to teach. You can copy from any course that you have access to. If you don't have access to it, please contact me and I will try to give you access or copy it for you. The way this works is right now I'm in my dashboard, and I want to remind you that your dashboard does not necessarily show all of your courses. There is a menu on the left for all courses that will show you every course that you have access to. So this Canvas test user has access to a lot of courses that are not mine. But I'm going to show as an example going into one of my blank courses. Maybe this is a sandbox that I want to import things into and play around with, or again, maybe it's my next semester's content. When you go to the home page of any course in Canvas, you'll have an import existing content, and the first thing in the drop-down is copy a Canvas course. Now, unless you're an admin user, you will have this little drop down which will show you all of the courses that you have access to, or you could just try searching the course name like ADU or BML and trying to find the course that way, especially if you teach in different prefixes, or if you're saying like, oh, I have a 105 course, you could grab that one specifically. But use the drop down and then you can select all the content. You have options to adjust the due dates. I typically do that a little bit later. You could also have the option to remove all the dates, but if you're using due dates, there are some batch editing ways to adjust dates once the course is copied in there. So I'm selecting that ADU 293 course. I'm importing it into my sandbox for EDU 653. I'm doing all the content. I'm going to click import. It's really important, I think, as much as possible to do all of the content at once, because if you do things piecemeal, you're going to lose some of the structure of your gradebook that might already be set up with weightings, etc. So it's really important to try and do all of the content, and then remember that if you ever need to go back and import something very specific from a different course, if it's an assignment or discussion, you might have to make sure that you get it into the right part of your gradebook. So all content, I'm going to click import. Usually it will queue this, and then once it's ready, it's just going to have this little running display. You can go off and do other things. Whenever this is done, you'll be able to come back to that course. This one probably doesn't have a lot of material in here, so I'm just going to let it finish. And then as soon as it is done, I'll jump into the home page and show you what's there. Keep in mind that if you import a course and then import the same course again, it's very likely going to create duplicates of all of the materials, which is why in some cases you might want to go in and have me reset that course for you. So this is completed. There are no issues with it. Sometimes you'll find an issue like, usually it's about like announcements or wiki pages, especially if you're coming from Moodle. This one didn't have any issues, so I'm just going to click on the home page and see if there was actually content in there. You'll see course materials, the modules from, in this case, Moodle were all set up. If you're importing from MyWLC, it probably just has things that says like web links, assignments and resources. If you used quizzes, your quizzes should all still be intact, all set up, ready to go. There is going to be training specifically on quizzes for either creating item banks or creating new quizzes as you go forward. So keep that in mind as you are working through this stuff. The final note that I'll just put out here, because I've had a lot of discussions with people about modules. Modules are really just a display case. If I delete this research paper from this module, it does not remove it from the course. If I delete this page for the library best picks from this module, it does not remove it from the course. This is the display. Those things actually exist in my assignments. So in my assignments, that research paper is still there. It's just probably not visible to students anywhere because we usually hide the assignments tab. Same thing with the pages. It's probably still got that library best picks page. It's just not linked onto a module. So when you are working with those modules, keep that in mind. If you delete a bunch of assignments or things off the modules, you really haven't deleted them from the course. They still exist. They are just kind of in the background in what I call like the filing cabinets of the assignments and pages. The last thing in this little video, again, the settings for this course has a navigation area. They recommend hiding just about everything, and I'll talk a little bit about some of these. If you want to use chats and collaborations, etc., they recommend hiding quizzes and rubrics and outcomes, files and pages, discussions and assignments. This is typically the only thing that I keep for students. If I need them to see assignments, I put it in a module. If I need them to see a discussion, I put it in a module. The reason for that is the assignments page has no context, it has no kind of directions, it has really no structure as to what order it's in. So I usually just have the home, the announcements, where I can send an announcement, emails all of the students, the people tab so I can see all of the people and they can see each other, the syllabus tab, the modules tab, and then there's this BrainFuse content only tab. That tab is really just a lot of generic resources. I'll click on it here. Generic study resources that students have access to. There's a lot of test prep and etc. things that are in here, so they can kind of go through and look through all the different prep materials that they have. But that's how you copy a Canvas course, as well as a few more reminders about the dashboard, modules, and that BrainFuse link. Thanks for watching.